Good evening. It is 5 o'clock or 5:01, I'm sorry, p.m. We are here to bring to order a public hearing for the tax budget. Pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code Section 5705.30, notice is hereby given on that Monday, June 26, 2023 at 5 o'clock p.m. A public hearing will be held on the 2024 tax budget prepared by Beavercreek Township, Greene County, Ohio for the next fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024. All right. So we will... bring any staff comments?
Thank you, Board. Just briefly, in your packet is the 2024 tax budget. This is a process prescribed by the Ohio Revised Code that achieves two purposes. One, it sets the appropriation limits for the succeeding year, 2024. That sets the boundaries in terms of what we use as the foundation or starting point for the 2024 budget. This document, if adopted, gets presented to the County Budget Commission, who will consider it, and two purposes. One, to ensure that any tax levies that we're collecting, that we have a need to collect them. So think of a tax budget as almost a needs budget. We have to present that the levies, inside and voted millage, is a need, and that we show that by indicating that we are appropriating, utilizing our appropriations. And then second, they return back what's known as the official certificate of estimated resources. This certificate sets the per fund appropriation limit in which we're able to appropriate, and again use as the foundation for the 2024 budget. Included in the tax budget are a couple items. One, the Greene County Auditor presented us with the estimated levy amounts for 2024. So those are all included in the presented resolution, as well as the corresponding schedule appropriations. We did use a rolling average for inflation, and that came out to about 4.9% on all expense accounts. However, noted this time, I want to show my appreciation to our finance director, Mrs. Molden. We have developed a personnel worksheet in which we're better tracking the individual employees and positions, so that our personnel line items are fairly accurate in that regard as well. Also with that, we are also looking at revenue being projected as essentially being flat for any items that are not included from the Greene County Auditor. In your packet, you see 2 year of actual revenues and expenses, what we project 2023 be, and then the adjusted forecast for the remaining year against the what we estimate 2024. Again, from this document, we'll send it to the Greene County Auditor Budget Commission, who will then return it back with our certificate of resources. We'll adopt that, and then we'll go into temporary appropriations as well as the budget workshops this winter. Ms. Molden is here, as well as our fiscal officer. Be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
On health insurance, what inflation factor did we plan on or budget in here?
We did 5%.
5%?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I understand this is a placeholder, so it's just a question, obviously, because that historically it varies and it's unforgiving sometimes. So, okay. And from a payroll standpoint, did we factor use the same 5%, or did we use the actual union contract?
Percentage that was in the contract.
Okay, that's what I was after. Perfect. You passed that test. Thank you. I will make a motion to adopt.
Pardon me,
Go ahead.
open the public hearing.
Sure.
Public hearing.
That's fine.
We would accept any comments from the public. You have 3 minutes if you'd like to come up and tell us what you think. Seeing no one in the audience here, we'll close that portion of the hearing, and then we'll have discussion amongst the board.
I had no other questions.
Yeah, I didn't either. Mine was about the insurance. He took care of that.
There is a sample resolution on page 3 as well as on your screen and can be adopted as presented.
And then this, from a budget cycle standpoint, though, we will still meet in November, is that correct?
Correct.
And we'll actually approve the budget for the next year at that point?
Absolutely, we'll do the traditional workshop. We'll budget a day, but traditionally we've been able to achieve that within a half day where we'll go line by line with each department and full transparency to both the board and staff and our residents on our complete budget for '24. So absolutely.
Okay. I will begin again. I'll make a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing estimated available resources beginning January 1, 2024. Do you want me to, as presented, is adequate?
That's fine.
Okay, as presented.
Second.
Mr. Kratz?
Yes.
Mrs. Dean?
Yes.
Thank you, board. Then we just need a motion to adjourn this public hearing and then we'll go right into the regularly scheduled trustee meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Kratz?
Yes.
Mrs. Dean?
Yes. We'll begin our regular scheduled trustee meeting. It is 5:07 p.m. If you guys would all like to stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have an agenda. Are there any changes or corrections?
No, board, I just recommend excuse Ms. Wallace with that same motion, please.
Sure. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to excuse Ms. Wallace from today's meeting and to approve the agenda for the June 26, 2023 meeting as presented.
Second.
Mr. Kratz?
Yes.
Mrs. Dean?
Yes.
Make a motion to accept the general ledger report in the amount of $335,106.62 for the June 14th, 2023 payroll.
Second.
Mr. Kratz?
Yes.
Mrs. Dean?
Yes.
Make a motion to accept the payment listing report in the amount of $521,805.45 for warrants through June 22nd, 2023 as presented.
Second.
Mr. Kratz?
Yes.
Mrs. Dean?
Yes.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the June 12th, 2023 regular trustee meeting as presented.
Second.
Mr. Kratz?
Yes.
Mrs. Dean?
Yes. All right. And if there's anyone who'd like to speak, again, you have 3 minutes. And tell us what you think. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on. There's no old business and no old new business. I'll turn it over to Mr. Rushing for the remainder of the meeting.
Yes, board. Just one item this evening. We are happy to present our dental insurance renewal. I believe Ms. Gutherson is on Teams here, so I will turn it over to her to present on behalf of HR.
Good evening.
Hello.
So we do have a 18-month contract that we are presenting from Superior Dental Care. It has a slight increase, but I think it's worth it for an 18-month contract that will align us with our other insurance companies that are insurance company contracts that we have, and that way we can keep the deductible and the plan year consistent, which will be much easier for employees, with determining and tracking their deductibles. So it's the exact same plan as what we had before. There's no other changes other than the increase. And this would start 7/1.
I had no questions.
I had none. And this will end the same time as the other plans then?
Well, so our health insurance, we would be renewing again.
Yeah.
We would have either a new provider or the same provider, but with a contract that would be 1/1 through 12/30 of 2024. So this would put us right in that same time period. Right.
Okay.
Great. I'll make a motion to approve the Superior Dental Care as the township's insurance carrier for the planned year beginning July 1, 2023 through December 31, 2023, and January 1, 2024 through December 31st, 2024, and to authorize the township administrator to sign for the board.
Second.
Mr. Kratz?
Yes.
Mrs. Dean?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that board's all we have this evening under our agenda. Turn it back over to you, Mrs. Dean.
Thank you. Excuse me. All right, meetings, Miami Valley Regional Planning. Or, I'm sorry, legal advisor.
Nothing tonight.
Nothing for me either.
Awesome. All right, Miami Valley Regional Planning.
No, Ms. Wallace, but I will mention that there is a support letter that's being circulated on safe pathways. The federal government is seeking funding opportunities for that. And through a collaboration of NBRPC, they're seeking all member jurisdictions just to sign a letter in support. Just received that this morning, so I was unable to present it. However, they're looking for just levels of support, so that way NVRPC receives additional funding that can be attributed to all members of the organization. So that may be at a future board meeting, depending upon if they would like to have the trustees sign or just the administrator.
If you can send a summary of what that entails, what Safe Pathways involves.
Absolutely.
And then what other requirements or obligations you take on by, if that were to come to fruition.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. TAC?
No report?
No report.
Okay. Regional Planning is, Greene County Regional Planning is meeting tomorrow evening for the full commission. And I don't believe there was anything Beavercreek Township related on the agenda.
Thank you. Health Department, next meeting is the first Thursday of July. So might have a conflict there, but we'll figure that one out.
Okay.
School superintendent, city manager?
No meeting, however, as the board's aware, we do have our joint active threat training starting tomorrow through the rest of the week. So I'm sure I'll see the city manager and superintendent out there and have some communication. But just for the public's notice, we might have a large presence of Beavercreek Police as well as Beavercreek Township Fire Department at the high school starting tomorrow through Friday. That is due to pre-scheduled training, so nothing to be alarmed.
Thank you.
I want to make a correction on tomorrow's. So the executive committee meeting was canceled just because there was lack of a quorum, but there is an item which is River Reserve Section 5. There's a revision they're asking for. So for an egress issues. So that'll be on there tomorrow. The only other thing that would be related to Beavercreek Township, because it's involving the entire county, would be relative to David Graham's doing a presentation on CAUV. So.
All right. Wright-Patterson Restoration Board and Wastewater Committee.
No report.
And Township Association, Ms. Wallace isn't here. Investment Oversight.
Nothing to report.
Okay. Is there anything else to come for the board?
That is it.
I had a question for Ms. Frick. Where are we? I don't recall, in January, did we renew our agreement with your firm and all the other firms? Or is that a evergreen where it automatically renews at the same hourly rate?
I'd have to go back and look at, I think it automatically renews if we don't, but we did not this past year.
Okay. I didn't recall doing it, so it was more of a housekeeping question rather than a wish for a change.
I'm still here.
No, it's just if there was something we owed you, if there's something that lapsed, then we need to take care of just from housekeeping. So maybe the new administrator can clean that up. So, okay.
And Mr. Rushing, if I could give you a quick update on the active threat training.
Yes, please do.
There was a minor time change for anybody that'd like to come out. The first evolution will begin at 10 a.m. I think it was originally scheduled to be after lunch, but they've moved the time frame up. So 10 a.m. and then roughly 1 o'clock for the two major evolutions. And if you'd like to come out and join us, you're certainly more than welcome. The parking for spectators and non-participants will be back by the baseball dugouts. And you're welcome to join us at any point. I'll be out there for the entire day for all three, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday's a catch-up day, so you probably won't see a lot that day, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 10 a.m. and 1 p.m.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. With that, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Congrats.
Yes.
This is Dean.
Yes.